In your experience of research and teaching, do scholars like you use AI, and in what ways?
Yeah, this is a good question. I mean, I've been trying to collect all the different translations. If they can be digitized, you create a database of every translation. And you could do really interesting comparison research with AI and say, well, how is this translated? And you compare all of them very quickly, right? Because if I had to do it the old-fashioned way, you read everything, thousands of translations in 100 languages, and then you can do your analysis. But an AI can do it very quickly, right? So there's that potential benefit. But so far, I've not actually had an opportunity where I felt like AI was that useful to me personally. So I'll say, here's a paper I wrote, make me a presentation. It didn't do it very well, right? So maybe someday, or I wish it could give me a much better designed presentation. It will give me something, but it's not that good. There's another question relating to AI, which is, how do we train the AI? Can we train the AI to think like the Tao Te Ching? If we have it read all the translations, will it start to think like the Tao Te Ching? This is really an interesting question. What the machine is fed influences how it does the tasks we ask it to do. This is like a child being educated, right? When we educate a child, it's cultural environment. And so in the AI is also, depending on what we feed it, it will result in different kinds of behaviors. If we train it on something like the Tao Te Ching or these wisdom classics, right? Maybe then the AI can be wise and be like a sage. This is the ideal in Chinese, both in Confucianism and Taoism, the Shengren, maybe. But there's a caveat I have to mention, which is in the Tao Te Ching, it says, Dao ke dao fei chang dao. The real thing you can't talk about. So what we can feed into an artificial intelligence with language is never going to be the Tao. And so maybe it can never have that thing that we might be able to experience that's not language-based experience, but have 20 minutes in the park. Maybe this is also why artificial intelligence might not be possible in the way we want it to be possible. Because language and basic information, data, when you add it all together, it's not enough.
So if we were to ask the AI to study Tao Te Ching, what wisdom do you think can best guide their behaviors?
I think that it would require doing experimentation, right? Because different models react in different ways, depending on what kind of information is fed in. But the problem is, quality is not always that big. So I don't know how that's a question for experts. How do you just feed it quality and have it be enough for it to actually learn what it needs to learn to be able to function in the way we want it to function?